Good morning and happy November. Welcome back. I know I haven't posted a video in a long time, and there's been a lot going on, so it's kind of why I haven't posted in a long time. My little garden buddy Maddie, she passed away last month very unexpectedly, so it's been a rough month. She was my little greenhouse buddy, as you all know if you've watched these videos, so that's basically why I haven't done a video in a while, so I apologize for that, but I know all you people out there will understand. She was only 7, and like I said, it was very unexpected, so that's basically why I've been on hiatus for a while. It's taken me a lot to come out here and do this video, but I wanted to give everybody an update. As you can see, everything in the garden is about pulled up. The tomatoes actually lasted until Halloween, so I usually put a Halloween display in here. I use the trellis as like a backdrop. I put a tarp up, and I have little like sound, I don't even know what you call them. They go off with sound. They're like little monsters. You make a sound or clap your hands and they start, you know, singing away. So I didn't put that up this year because the garden was still growing. Like I said, I think it was the day before Halloween was when I pulled my tomatoes up, and I pulled off all the tomatoes. We had gotten a hard freeze that night, and everything was, it was about time, but I let it go as long as I could. So there's nothing really left in here. Shane did pick up some pumpkins for me, so I have those in here. We'll probably throw those in and till them up in the spring. The herbs are all gone. This is actually still some oregano that's going, so it seems like that's doing well, so I'm going to let that just go. And my Brussels sprouts, which I'm hoping these will be ready for, well, they're going to be ready. They're going to be part of our Thanksgiving meal. I know they're some really little tiny ones, but I want to keep those going. They've been doing really well. That nice cold nights and cold days. And over here, I got my garlic into the ground before the really hard frost. I tilled this garden bed, I can't remember when it was. It was a couple of weeks ago. And I got my garlic. I have 3 different types of garlic. I think I have Purple Glazer, which is one I've gotten from Burpee before, and I really liked it. I have, I think it's Georgia Crystal. And the last one is Ajo Rojo. Roja, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. It was a little like sampler pack I got from Burpee, and honestly I didn't expect it to be that much garlic. I think it was a pound or a half a pound of bulbs each, and it was, like I said, much more than I anticipated getting. So I will have an abundance of garlic, which is fine. We use a lot of garlic, and I know it lasts quite a while. So that's what's going on in here. This garden bed will get tilled up in the spring, so we won't do too much with that. We also want to replace the box over here in the springtime. As you can see, it's starting to get a little tender in some spots. So we actually want to get some more planks, or some more, I don't even know what size those were. I think they were just 2x6s, 2x4. Now they got to be 2x6. So we want to get some that are a little taller and make these more like boxes, a little higher up, and get some more soil and really build up the base. So yeah, you can even see here part of the base is kind of rotting away a little bit, but it's lasted quite a while, so I'm very happy with that. But actually, there's not much going on in the garden, but there's quite a bit going on in the greenhouse, so we can go check that out now. And oddly enough, right as I headed over to the greenhouse, you probably can't see it because it's really fine, there was actually some snowflakes starting to come down. So it snowed here very lightly. I think over the weekend we got a little bit, but it wasn't, you know, anything that accumulated on the ground. But we've seen some flakes flying here and there. So the colder weather is coming. You can see I've got this extension cord out here. That is for one of the oil heaters. I was using 2 extension cords and putting it into the outlet in the house, but it was not very, I shouldn't say it wasn't unsafe, but it wasn't exactly the best setup, but it was just temporary. I think I only used it for a couple nights. So I got this one, and it works great. I put that oil heater in here on those really, really chilly nights. It's about, I think it's in the mid-30s here outside right now, and it looks like it's probably in the mid-60s in the greenhouse. So I don't use the oil heater every night. I just use it on those nights where I know it's probably going to be like in the upper 20s, which we have gotten some nights that were in the upper 20s. And it works great. It keeps it around like 50 or 60 in here, so I'm very happy with that. I think the coolest it's gotten is like down into the low 40s, which is fine because everything I have in here, except with a few exceptions, is all cool crop stuff. So I've got my broccoli and cabbage over here, and we've still got some onions. I've actually had some, I don't want to call them mystery onions, but there's some that it seems like they sprouted. I don't know if they were bulbs that just didn't take initially when I planted them, but I've got some that are starting to come up. So that's really good. Like I said, I got a lot of cabbage growing in here. These are more cabbage and broccoli. My herbs, I've neglected to repot these. I've got to get them into bigger pots because they look kind of, I know they look kind of sad. So that'll probably be something I'll do this weekend. I know I've been putting it off. I planted some spinach in here probably, I don't know, a week or so ago. So that's sprouting. And this is a little oil heater that I use. Just has a on-off switch. So I just plug it in at night, put it on high, and it goes. I usually only run it, I try to only keep it on just overnight. So when I get up in the morning, as long as it's not, you know, extremely freezing cold, and I see the temperature in here is pretty regulated, I'll turn it off when I get up in the morning. So it usually runs anywhere from, I would say, like 10 to 12 hours, which isn't too bad. And like I said, it's just enough to keep this a comfortable temperature. Over here I've got some lettuce that I planted, just some mixed seeds. I just had some leftover seeds that I kind of wanted to plant, so I just threw those in a little pot. You can see I've got one of Maddie's collars up here. So she's always going to be here with me. Like I said, this was one of her favorite spots. So like I said, it's been hard, but she's always here. I know she is. And I know she would want me to keep on keeping on, so that's what I'm trying to do. That's what both Shane and I are trying to do. You can see right here, I have a little pepper growing. These I planted, those were from seed. Everything was from seed. And I think I planted those sometime in the middle of the summer, kind of not knowing what was going to happen. And there's even a little pepper on this one too. So I know it's not the best environment for them because it is cooler in here than they would probably like, but they seem like they're doing all right. And as I mentioned outside, I have an abundance of garlic. So I planted some of each type. So there's 3 different types of garlic in here, and it's already coming up. The bigger ones in front are the Ajo Rojo, however you pronounce it. The ones in the middle are the Georgia Crystal, and in the back I have the Purple Glazer. So those aren't coming up yet, but these ones are. So that's pretty good. I'm very happy with that. You know, they obviously like the environment. Obviously it's a greenhouse, so it's warm in here and humid. So I'm happy with that. You know, maybe we'll have some garlic this winter, some fresh garlic, so that would be really great. And to my surprise, this tomato plant is producing tomatoes. These were 2 plants that I had put out front when I was doing, you know, my, I guess, a plant sale out front. When I put plants out to see if anybody was going to buy them. These 2 were 2 that just nobody took, so I just put them in the greenhouse because I actually did not have room for them in the garden. I had so many pots and everything was in the way in the garden, so I ended up just keeping these 2 in here, and they looked kind of sad, and actually they still do look kind of sad, but they're producing, so I'm shocked by that. I've got some good sized tomato there, a good sized tomato there. There's 2 smaller ones here. I don't know if those are gonna do anything. There's another one right there. I thought there was another one, but maybe I'm mistaken. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And like I said, the tomato plants that were in the garden, I did pull the tomatoes off, and most of those have ripened. The ones that haven't ripened, I do have them in a box in the house, so those are ripening. And this cherry tomato is actually one of the plants that was in the garden, just in this pot. You can probably see it down there. And we actually, when we were pulling out all the tomatoes from the bigger plants to take out the tomatoes, you know, take out the ones that were ready to turn red, this plant still had so much life in it that we really thought maybe if we can transfer it to the greenhouse, maybe we could keep these tomatoes on the vine and see if they're ripening. And it's actually doing pretty good. I mean, the foliage and stuff looks terrible, but the tomatoes themselves are still doing great. I mean, you can see all these tomatoes that are ripening on here. Shane's brother came in here a few days ago and was very happy to be able to pick some fresh cherry tomatoes. So I'm just kind of letting it go. We kind of have it tied up on this railing because, like I said, it's a little leggy, and it got a lot bigger in the garden than I thought. It kind of was intertwined with my snap peas and the cucumbers, so we didn't really realize how big it had gotten. But I felt bad, you know, just stripping off all the cherry tomatoes. So Shane helped me pull it out, and we put it in here. So it's been in here for probably about 3 weeks now, and it's doing great. So I'm very happy with that. And lastly, we've got still some more onions in here. I did harvest some onions in the, those are in the house, mostly red onions that I had to harvest. So I don't like onions, but Shane does. So he's been eating those, and it seems like it's doing really good. I still got my little indoor sensor. That sensor, I've had it, well, since I put this greenhouse up, and, excuse me, as far as the review on it, I would say in the first 6 months, I'm probably pretty satisfied with it. It seems like the temperature, and it's probably because it's so close to the plastic, so I understand that. It seems like on warm days it reads really, really hot, and on the cold days it reads really, really cold. So when I look at the temperature in the house, and then I come out and I see what this one is, I kind of go in between the two. I mean, that's showing it's 68 in here right now, and honestly, it doesn't feel like it's 68 in here. It probably feels like it's maybe in, like, I don't know, maybe like the mid to upper 50s. So like I said, I don't want to say I'm not happy with it, because I understand it's obviously probably not in an ideal location, but it's kind of nice just to look at it in the morning just to get an idea of what the temperature is in here. So I wouldn't, you know, take what it says to the bank, like, oh, okay, it says it's 65, it's definitely 65. I'll kind of say, well, you know, see what it's doing outside, and like I said, I'll check the other temperature and just see what it's doing, and I just kind of figure it's somewhere in the middle of those two, because that one is on the far wall, and like I said, obviously this one, it must have something to do with it being so close to the plastic, because obviously it's probably a little, you know, damp over there, but so far I like it. But that's what's going on right now, and, you know, like I said, I gotta keep doing stuff in here, because I know someone would want me to do that, so I keep coming out here and, you know, just trying to stay busy. So I hope everybody has been having a good fall so far. I hope you all had very successful harvests this past summer or early fall, and if you can, that you have a lot of stuff that you've been canning. I know I was doing tons of tomato sauce. I actually went through all of it. I think this is the most tomato sauce I've ever made, and I wish I had kept track, but I didn't. But Shane was training for a marathon. He actually ran the Boston Marathon last month. So living with a marathon runner, you eat a lot of pasta, and he was more than happy to have an abundance of pasta sauce. So we went through it pretty quick, but that's fine. I do have some tomatoes in the house that will hopefully turn, and I can get one last batch out of it. So, but anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you are all having a good holiday season. It's coming up quick, and if I don't see you before then, I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I will check back in sometime soon. Like I said, my videos might not be as frequent because of, you know, just the timing of the seasons, but as things grow and things change, I'll keep you updated. So again, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching, and please put any comments or questions down below. I always love to hear from everybody. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Take care.